Hey y'all, well it is a cold and blustery rainy day here in North Carolina, and I decided it would be the perfect opportunity to sit down and make out my plant selections for this year. So what I wanted to do is share with you all of the new 2025 annuals from proven winners. So last summer I was able to go to the four-star greenhouse in Michigan, and they had the most beautiful display of all of their 2025 annuals. So not only did they just talk about it, but they show you in person. So let's go back to that time in August and see all the beautiful annuals for 2025. All right, guys, let's go. Hey, y'all, and good morning. Well, the long awaited day has come, and I am in Carleton, Michigan at a Proven Winners Signature Garden Experience. So I'm very excited and I can't wait to have you join me on this experience today. All right, guys, let's go look at some beautiful flowers. Good morning. Hi.
How are you?
I'm Betty Owens.
Okay. Yes, I have you right here.
Yes.
And then this is
Those
gonna
are
be
so
for a
cute.
raffle later.
We're little pots.
Yes. For Betty.
Yes, awesome.
Okay. You are going to be part of the lime green group today.
Okay.
Here is a little wristband for you.
Awesome.
Name tag.
Okay.
And then this is going to be your raffle ticket for later on today.
Okay, awesome.
So
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So this area that we're going to go down are all of our new varieties for next year. So we got a lot of exciting new varieties. I will show you how they're used in containers, and then how actually applications that you could use in the ground also. So I guess we'll start with our space age begonias. So all of our plants here are in aqua pots, so they're self-watering containers. Some things like to stay a little drier, so you'll see that some of these got a little stunted because they do stay kind of wet in here. And the reason we have, if you see like a little burning on the begonias, is they like shade. So we don't have a lot of shade out here, so this is the best spot we could put them in. But they are a great accent to your garden. You've got the frost foliage, the silver, the purples that pull out from the centers, the edges. Some of them are a little more compact. So this one is Europea. This is a little more of a tighter plant. And you have the black hole, which is really cool because it's got the pointy leaves, dark edges, dark eye. You can mix it with a lot of stuff. Nice way to brighten up, put a little silver underneath a tree or something like that, something that's a little bit shadier. You can also use it in a bunch of combinations. You can mix it. It mixes well with superbenas, angel face, different colors. You can use reds and purples. And then we also have the Triton. This one is one of my favorites because it kind of has like splashes, like teardrops in the center of all the leaves, like a speckled silvery color. So that's really cool as a foliar plant. These are all actually really good foliar plants to add texture to your garden. They don't. Nope, they won't bloom. But they'll just add like foliage to and a texture to your garden, that kind of stuff. I know it, and that's the hard thing, is that unless you really know the plants, right, you know, it's hard. Sometimes you would see, if I didn't know the plant, I would be like, "What's wrong with that?" You know. But it's a really cool accent to the plant with the speckles and stuff. Right. And we also have, I wonder, oh yeah, they do have it in here. So they have the silvers again with our Dichondra Silver Falls. And like I said, these aqua pots are made so that you don't have to water as much, and the water kind of sits in there. So some of the items like a begonia is probably better off in a smaller container, or something with aeration on the bottom, because it doesn't like to stay that wet. They like to be drier, and that's kind of what happened a little bit here. So, and then our next, that is Queen Tut. Yep, that's Queen Tut. So that's one of our Tut series. It kind of looks like fireworks and almost like a sparkler, you know. That's a super cool plant. What's that? What's that? Is it starting to bloom now?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's unusual.
They
yeah,
don't usually show very much.
No. Yeah, it's not really a showy, like for flowering. I mean, it might get a couple little tiny ones like that, but it's based more for like a foliar, you know. And then we also have our new angel face white. This, so we get sample plants to try all the stuff in our own yard. This plant has done wonders in my garden right now. I have it mixed with some chartreuse, mini chartreuse coleus, which is also a new variety that I'll show you down here. And it's in a pot, and it just stays blooming. It's staying upright. The wind, the rain, nothing has broken. It doesn't break. So it's really, really nice addition to our angel face series. Nope, you can put it in the ground. Yep, it does well in the ground. It's going to get probably 24, 36 inches. But like I said, it's really sturdy, so you can put it in the ground. It mixes well with a lot of different plants.
Is this in the Angelonia family?
Yes, yep,
Okay.
the angel face series.
Okay.
Yep, yep.
That shade?
That's full sun. Yep, you can do part shade, but usually it would be like maybe the morning shade in the afternoon sun. You don't want to keep it in the, yeah, it's perfect for the sun. And then we also have our new Stardiva series scaevolas. So the really unique part about these scaevolas are they're a star-shaped flower, where if you've had proven winners in your yard and you've had the scaevola whirlwind, the white whirlwind white, the blue, they have kind of a half moon flower, and then the foliage is kind of long, and they kind of stick out the ends of the foliage. Whereas the Stardivas, they're full of flowers. It's going to be a star-shaped flower. It's a really compact plant. You kind of want to put it in a smaller area maybe. But that's a really great addition to our scaevola series also. And let's see, this has it in here. It does get eaten up because it is such a compact plant, so you've got to be careful what you pair it with in combos. Because as you can see, I think it was in here, but oh, here it is, here. Yeah, so it's kind of gotten taken over. It likes to be alone. And then we also have our super petunias. We have Tierra Blue. Now we have Tierra Blue and Tierra Pink. The Tierra Pink is going to be more of a really vigorous growing plant. It's going to travel. It's going to spread. The Tierra Blue is going to be more compact and mounding. They both have the white eyes. Adds a nice color to, if you want to put silvers with it, you can put it in a hanging basket. You can put it in the ground. You can pair it with purples. This Tierra Pink goes really well with some reds. I have it in the ground at home right now with our new unplugged red Salvia, which is a really cool plant. So yes, this is another addition to our super petunias. And then we also have the unplugged white, which I'll show you. You can see in the bed over here. It's a little more compact Salvia with the stalks. Kind of matches our unplugged blue, if anybody's familiar with the unplugged blue Salvia that we have. And then, let's see. So we have another super petunia, Bermuda Beach. It's an improvement, and it's a lot deeper. The color is a little deeper. It's very foliferous. It's mounding plant. You can pull a lot of reds out of it. You can put it in baskets. Here we have it with our Cherry Burst, which is another new variety. So it mixes well. A lot of times when you're making combinations, you want to make sure you're mixing it with plants that are kind of alike, so they have the same habits, so you don't overtake them with other things. Feeding, fertilizer is super important, and the right irrigation. I have my soil is not really clay, but it's kind of mixed clay a little bit, and these all do really well in my beds right now. I probably feed them maybe twice a week, and they still are performing really well. So yeah, these are 15, 16 inch, I believe, and they're swivel baskets. They're fiber. And those are on irrigation also. I want to say they're running 15 minutes twice a day. Could be 20. It could be 20. But those are on constant fertilizer too. So
Every watering?
yes, yep, for the baskets. Yep. Now the aqua pots, they fill them once a week with fertilizer water. So once a week is good enough, depending on how vigorous your plant is. I mean, you have stuff like the Prince Tuts and the Queen Tuts, and you know they're super vigor plants, and they suck a lot of water, so you may have to fill it twice in a week. But they're really great to go away. You go away and you fill your pots up, you're good to go. You know. So here we have our Portulaca Mojave Mango. I know you guys probably have seen Portulaca. You think they're weeds in your beds, and oh, I hate these things. You know, these are great. The flowers in the morning time right now, they're closed. As the sun comes out, they'll open up, and the flower is really big compared to our other Mojaves that we've had. The mango's got a deep yellow orangish eye, and the flower is like a big sunshine. It's gonna have a little more of a compact habit, whereas our fuchsia in the yellow is a more of a crawling, trailing type variety. But you can use it in for like a ground cover if you want to put it in a ground cover on the edge somewhere. It likes to be drier. Yeah, so it's one of my favorites because it has yellow in the center, and the flower is so big. So yeah,
They don't do anything.
well, and a lot of people don't. I mean, you don't want to mess sometimes with and that's what's good about proven winners is most of the time you're going to be successful no matter what. You know, it's one of those things where I mean,
Never home, so I don't water. I don't. It just some of them do really well. Those are the plants I like.
And you would think that since I work here and since I work for Proven Winners that I would like take care of my garden. So no, I do keep it weeded and clean, but I like to just plant my stuff and let it go. You know, leave it alone. Like I said, I do have to feed it probably once a week. I give it some fertilizer, maybe twice if I want to. But other than that, I just leave them be.
These are pretty. What are these? When do these bloom? What?
So these are this is Surefire White. This is actually it's a begonia, but it can be you can put it in the sun. These are on that side is in the full sun all day long. The flowers stay pretty white all year long. It's going to get about probably 3 foot tall by the time it's done. It's Surefires. I'm not a fan usually of begonias, but Surefires have made me love them. I plant them. Yes. We plant them over in the owner's yard. We plant them in here, and they last. When it starts getting cooler weather, the color of the foliage, the flowers get so deep and intense, and it's just a great begonia.
So hardy, they go all into the fall.
They go into the fall, yep. And it's just a great, as far as begonias go, it's just a great addition. I mean, it's one of the ones that you can keep it in longer and likes the sunshine, which most begonias rather have shade. So then we have, so I pointed out the unplugged white that we have Salvia. So this is Rockin' Deep Purple. So the difference between the two series, we have Rockins and we have the Unplugged. The Unplugged is going to be a compact variety that's going to have stalks of the flowers going to go all the way up to stalks. The Rockin' series are going to have more plumes with trumpets for hummingbirds and things like that, bees, and it's going to be a lot more vigorous. So it's going to turn in more to a bush type plant. So you got to be careful where you put it because it does get pretty large. And but and even when the flowers start, they're spent, but you still have the black stalk here, which still adds a lot of texture and stuff to your garden. So yeah, yep, it's really a good pollinator.
And that's an annual?
That is an annual, yep. Yeah, I think so. The perennials are going to be mostly out in the garden.
Okay.
So I won't really have them in this area because this is all just the new varieties. And usually in the pots, we don't have the perennials, but I'll make sure we catch you.
What's the color again?
That is Surefire White.
Begonia.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now we have, so we have our Rockapolco series. We actually do have Rockapolcos right now. This is a new improved varieties. The flowers are really big. They are, they deadhead themselves. So when they have spent flowers, the other flowers just take over, and it's pretty much self-cleaning. Now, the one thing about the Rockapolcos is when you have heat, they're going to probably stress a little bit. And a lot of people like to see that, and they want to water it a lot. That's not good for the plant. So when you see it stressing, it doesn't always mean that it needs water. And if it does, if you give it too much water, it's going to end up rotting it. And so in the summertime, when you have the sun and the heat on it, it is going to get a little bit stressed out looking, but they'll bounce back in the morning and they'll be fine. Maybe partial shade is probably a good idea to prevent that. But the flowers are just big. They're double flower. Let's see. So the pots only have about maybe halfway full of soil because the inner, so there's a tube and that has slits on it, and then it's got like a plate kind of that it sits like a table. It sits in there, and they fill the soil just halfway. And then when you fill the water reservoir comes to here, so that it seeps into the soil to give it constant watering when it needs it, and it takes it up when it needs it. So it's really, really convenient to have, especially if you're gone a lot. So those ones were quite expensive. Yeah, those but we love them. I mean, it does help us, you know. I mean, to not have to hand water, you know. But yep. So you fill them with the tube.
This back here.
Yep. You fill them with that tube there. You can throw a handful of time release fertilizer in the water, and it gives them good fertilizer that way. I know, aren't they? The surefires are they're the best.
My problem is I always plant everything too close together, and then so you would spread them out
About 18 inches apart, 12 inches apart. Yeah, because they're going to fill out.
Look how tall they get.
As you could say, they're a surefire way to go.
Yeah, I like
Yeah, I love them. And then we have a couple more left. We're going to turn to the right here in a second, but we have chartreuse, mini me chartreuse, which is another new coleus. It's a compact variety. It's going to give you that bright color that you can use with purples. It's got a little bit of intense purple center in it. This one is not going to give you the flowers like on a lot of coleus. They get the flower stalks, and most people don't like the flower stalks because that's really not what the plant is for. It's for foliage. This is not going to usually do that for you, but it's going to stay compact, and it's got the thin leaves, kind of furry looking, jagged edges, a little texture. We can actually come down this way. I think they're going to come. So there's a few more down here. It's so much. I just want to talk about everything in the garden.
I use them in the soil.
See, there you go. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
The kids call my Halloween. I have all the kids in the neighborhood come over and make pumpkins.
Oh, that's fun.
So
Perfect for the oranges and stuff.
Yep.
Yep. So then we also have, so it shows here, we have our angel face, the white, and we have the Wedgwood pink. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Wedgwood blue, it's the same as this here, but it's got the pink and white instead of the blue bicolor. This also is in my garden right now, and I absolutely love it. As you can see the way it performs, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. Even with the spent flowers, you've got the tips with the flowers on there. It's
been deer resistant in my garden.
Has it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I don't get many deer, so that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you have the white here, and then we also have the two super bells, our double vintage coral, and the smitten pink. The coral is going to give you kind of actually a good time for Halloween planting, like you were talking about, the later fall. In the fall, a lot of the plants here, the colors are just so intense. It's going to give a darker, deeper color with the cool nights. This one here is going to give you that antique-ish look, if you like the antique-ish look in your garden, Victorian style maybe. And then the smitten pink, it's got the deep center. It's a double flower. It's more of a compact variety, so it's not going to spread really vigorously like this one here will. So that's also, and I usually recommend the super bells mostly in container planting. You can put it in the ground, but it does way better in the container planting for the super bells. And then we also have the dahlias. So we've got a couple dahlias, new variety dahlias. I love this color. Another great vintage color. The flowers are going to pop right through stick right through the foliage, but the foliage is going to stay more compact, so it's not going to be a real giant like a lot of dahlias are. If you want that little cottage garden look type thing, you know. So yeah, so.
Is this the famous heliotrope?
This is, oh, that's right. I missed this one.
I've not seen one in the wild before.
Oh, you're right. I love this plant. My husband loves it. We have it in our yard. Like I said, we get it with our sample packs. It doesn't have the smell like I thought, but
it's really.
Still, it's a great performer. It's a deep purple. It's compact. It's like a little shrub, kind of like. It's doing great in our yard right now. It's a great variety.
So welcome. This is Kelsey. My name's Brian.
Thank you guys so much for that look back. I know it was such an inspiration to me because I have forgotten a lot of the beautiful plants that they're offering for this year. One of my favorite ones is the Supertunia Vista Tiara Pink. So that will definitely be showing up in my garden this year, and I can't wait for you to see it. Put down in the comments down below what was your favorite one and something that you're wanting to try this year. I can't wait to chat with you in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you have a chance to get your gardens today. Bye, friends.